thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
What? Big Jeff's on the podcast. Get him off here. Actually, I think just you and I hear that.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, welcome everyone. Are we going to start?
Yeah, let's start.
Okay. Welcome everyone to a very special episode 364 of the Massenomics Podcast. It is the lifting podcast about nothing, and this is an exceptionally special episode because it is our 7-year anniversary episode. And what are we going to do that's special? We're going to talk about how special it is, and that's about it. We have nothing else in particularly planned for this. So my name is Tanner.
Way to give the whole episode away, Tanner.
Yeah. I'm just sick of all this playing. I'm sick of all this playing coy that we usually do. I just want to be really upfront with everyone.
Just let them know what they're in for here. No surprises.
Yeah. No, this is episode 364. Math checks out, right? 52 times 7, 364. We've been known to get math wrong before. I think that checks out. You could maybe make some argument, though. Is 364 the 7-year anniversary then, or would 365? I mean, we're going to celebrate it this week, so it doesn't make any difference what anyone else's opinion is, but you could make debate on that, right? Is 365 technically the...
Maybe. I don't know. You're the numbers guy, so I'm just going to go with whatever you tell me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. To quote a famous country song.
Yeah.
Also, I want to quote Chad Wesley Smith. One time I heard Chad Wesley Smith say that Juggernaut AI is a great training program that's affordable, and it just works.
And just really, really cool. All the cool people do it.
It's really, 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 really cool.
Man, this is just the coolest program ever.
And then he said, you know what? My favorite part of Juggernaut AI is after everything I've done creating it, this is Chad talking, after everything I've done creating it, bringing it to the people, advancing it along, making enhancements to it throughout the few years of its existence here. You know what my favorite part is? That Massenomics has a discount code. It's discount code Massenomics, and he loves that that'll save you 10% for the lifetime of your membership over at Juggernaut AI. Just make sure, this is still Chad talking, when you go sign up through the web browser, not through the App Store. That's where you can use our discount code, is through the web browser, and it's juggernautai.app. And I think that's about everything that Chad said.
Was that? I'd hate to not get anything that he said correct. So
to be fair, that's paraphrasing.
Oh, okay. Well, but you can imagine what it'd be like if he did say those things.
Yeah,
right. Today's show is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid-70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. Now, if I'm going to paraphrase here, but if Buddy was talking, he would say that I think the Texas Power Bar is strong as a house. I think it has the best knurling, and I also believe this bar is maintenance-free. I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know if he'd actually say that, but I believe that is what he would say. Hundreds of states.
Maybe we'll paraphrase all the ads this week.
We're just going to assume what the creator would say for their product here. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com.
Oh, we've got an exciting one this year for what we're calling our 7-year anniversary. We're going to talk about a food update. We're going to talk about Tommy being back in Aberdeen, a YouTube recap. We're going to talk about a new drop coming at you, one of most revolutionary new products that we've ever released coming this week. Goat update, and we've got a special guest, big Kevin Ferris. We got to meet at the Arnold this year. We're going to visit with him later. So episode 364 is a doozy. I hope you guys are all buckled in and prepared for the next 5 hours.
Strap on in. Well, and also you left out one important detail, and that's we're recording on a Friday night, Tanner.
It's Friday night. Yeah, that's right.
That's
it's
not
a party,
something
isn't
we
it?
do too often, is it?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, do we do it maybe a couple times a year? Maybe
we save it for really special occasions like the 7-year anniversary,
and we roll out the blaze orange carpet and we celebrate, right?
I don't know. We probably haven't. Do you think we probably haven't done 10 Fridays before out of 364? If we've done 5,
yeah, that's
you think
probably
we've done
it.
5. What do you think our least recorded day ever of the podcast is?
Ever of the podcast?
Least recording day of the week out
Probably
of the last 7 years.
Monday would be my guess. Right? Because in the beginning, we always recorded on Sunday afternoons.
Yeah. Wednesday's the number one.
Wednesday's the number one.
We hit quite a few Thursdays.
Yep.
We hit some Tuesdays.
Yeah. Friday and Monday are very rare on the list.
What about Saturday?
Ooh, that actually probably is the rarest one.
We probably did some Saturdays in the beginning.
The only Saturday I can think
of
of is when we had the, what's it with Phil? Was Iron Talk Radio or what? We did that on Actually, that could have been a Sunday morning even too. I'm not sure.
Right.
But we did that on a weekend morning. Otherwise, Chad would have been Saturday morning. No, was Chad Friday morning? What day did he come? Yeah, he came on a Thursday night, so that would have been Friday morning. Yeah, Saturday's probably the lowest one.
There's no way of ever knowing. Nobody will know.
Not really, no. No, because we don't disclose the day. So
right. So it'd only be you and I that know, and we're not gonna do any research.
We're not gonna spill the beans on that.
God knows we're not gonna do any research. 7-year podcast anniversary. Does that mean anything special? We actually even talked about this. We have so many anniversaries of things and stuff like that. We can't make everyone a real big deal. So 7 years, other than it just being a really long time, 7 doesn't have that great of a ring to it. Except
it's lucky number 7.
Yeah, except in one occasion we did make a big deal out of it in print. But sometimes for the podcast we prepare these big things, and maybe we'll save our next really big thing for episode 400 coming later.
Yeah. Well, and between like even big 100 numbers and then year anniversaries and whatever the hell else, it kind of feels like there's 3 anniversaries per year. So you can't just have every 4 months be an anniversary episode. But
yeah, we have to pick and choose when we make those special episodes like that.
Yeah, I guess I would say that 7 years, though, I would never in a million years have thought we'd go 7 years. That seems insane to think about. Also, that the streak has never been broken, that it's always been every weekend for 7 years. That is
a new episode every single week.
That is actually insane. That's hard to believe. And yeah, that's probably all I have to say about it.
We've now basically recorded twice as long with a 2-host show as we ever did the 3-host show. Double the length.
Right, because we did about 100 with one host.
124,
120,
actually.
okay.
120, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're right in that double.
Yeah. The show has gone on a long time. Big Joey said, the podcast is older than my marriage. The podcast is also older than my marriage. Tanner, it's probably older than your marriage too, isn't it? Or is it very close?
That would be a good thing to know to the definitive answer of, wouldn't it?
If only someone knew. If only someone
that
knew
would
this.
be really good of a husband to be able to know the answer to that for sure. Going back, there's so many dates and things like that.
Dude, I am remembering numbers. I am terrible at that. So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah,
man.
the I was married before we started the podcast. I'm pretty sure.
Were? Yeah, you've been married over 7 years, huh?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because you got married. Well, no, did you get married when we were at the Y still?
I think we had started the gym.
Okay, so it must have been like right before the podcast then.
Yes, that sounds right. We'll go with that. We better stop talking about it before I get myself in any more hot water.
Yes, I'm not blinking or winking or anything. That is correct.
Where's Repeatonomics when you actually need them for something?
That's funny. Do you have anything else to add for 7 years other than you are wearing a certain 7 year strong Massenomics podcast tee?
Yeah, do we want to just get that right out of the gate? Talk about that particular?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, so we did commemorate this occasion like we never have before in an anniversary with the 7 years strong Massenomics podcast tee in the blaze red color, and it's got the classic Massenomics logo in 3D on the upper back. This is a red printed tee, and you've got to say it pops, right? In a classic way.
It
classic
pops
pop.
In the most classic sense of popping. That one pops.
And this is a limited tee. We only printed so many. We printed a specific number of this tee, so it's limited in that way.
7 years worth of it.
Yes. So grab it while you can. Obviously, we won't keep the 7 year strong Massenomics podcast tee around forever, because at a certain point in time, it won't make as much sense.
Yeah. Makes less sense for the 8th and 9th anniversary than for the 7th. If people needed us to spell that out for them.
But we've really only had like one other shirt ever that's specific to the about the podcast. Mm-hmm. So we thought it'd be a really cool opportunity. We've been wanting to do something for a while that literally says Massenomics Podcast on it. Here it is.
So
it says it.
If you like to listen to the podcast, now is your chance to tell the world that you like to listen to the podcast.
Absolutely. And this drop is going to be on the Thursday of the week that this comes out, which is the 30th of March. You can snag this tee and a couple other things that we'll get to here too, I think, right?
Yes, we'll get to that. Along those lines, though, something I was thinking about this weekend, would you say you have a fair number of podcasts that you listen to even just outside of lifting directly?
Oh, yeah, I do.
And
I mean, yeah, decent, yeah.
And I have a couple too, a few that I'm a very big fan of that I've been listening to for many years. And you know what struck me as a little funny this weekend is there are several podcasts that I have been listening to, never miss an episode for years on end. And I've never followed them on anything social media. That got me thinking, how many people do you think listen to us and have never followed us on Instagram? Because that is really funny that you're like missing half of the whole picture if you don't do that. And there's definitely someone that does that.
Well, there's definitely some listeners that are avid listeners that just don't have Instagram, you know, because like not everyone has that stuff. So there's got to be some in that category for sure, right?
For sure. But there's also probably a few that have Instagram and just have never gone over and bothered to click the follow button on us, which is hilarious. If you are on Instagram and you listen to this and you don't follow us, there's a lot you're missing out on. So and we don't ask this often, but if you haven't done that, go follow us. I think you might like what you see there.
There's podcasts that I listened to for years and never even bought. Because I don't watch podcasts on YouTube. Like you can watch ours on YouTube, but a lot of people just listen. That I didn't even bother to see what they look like. Like, I mean, I'm listening to these guys talk for like hundreds of episodes, and it wasn't until years down the road that I'm like, what do these guys look like? And then I just Google it. I'm like, huh.
So are you talking
not
about
what I suspect?
You just figured out what Dave Tate looked like? Does that how you?
No, I was thinking like one that I think of in particular is Stuff You Should Know. Is a really common podcast, and it's Joshua and Charles. Josh and Chuck are the hosts, and I listened to that for many years. Yeah, Josh and Chuck. Have I said this before? Did Big Ashley in the Discord? She just said that, or maybe I've said. I probably told this story before.
I think this was talked about in the Discord before, maybe.
Okay. Oh, and she's even saying the same thing, that she doesn't know what they look like, and that's my specific example. I did not know what they looked like. But you have to Google it. If you listen to Stuff You Should Know, go Google Josh and Chuck.
And did your brain explode when you saw a picture of them?
Yeah, because they actually look. When I saw the picture, I figured this one was Josh and this one was Chuck, and it was actually
it was flipped
like that.
around.
I was like, oh, that's the part that blew my mind.
It wasn't that they were like actually like in middle school or anything like that.
Yeah, I wonder if people have listened to us for 7 years and never seen what we look like, and then they saw a picture and they're like, oh, that one's Tanner and that one's Tommy. I thought it was the other way around
the whole time.
Yes. Speaking of podcasts, have you heard about this crew cast that could be in the work?
Well, yes. One of the latest rumblings this week in the Discord is I hear the crew cast getting mentioned, and it sounds like some exciting stuff.
Yeah. We have our unpaid interns, our supporting members, our crew, CRU, and they're talking about maybe firing up a podcast of their own, maybe a bit of a Massenomics Podcast recap podcast. Is that kind of
I
what
think
you
so.
took
That's
away
how I
from it
took it.
too?
Yeah, it would be a recap podcast, which I'm.
We're
all for.
obviously not experts. It's not our podcast.
It's not our podcast. Yeah, they have.
My only thing was if they're going to do it, just to take it easy on us, because I couldn't handle too much criticism. I would crumble under that kind of
I would also that could ruin the podcast if I just come in thinking I'm going to get criticized every single week. I start second guessing everything I say, and then our organic conversations just go out the window. They just suck that.
Yeah. I could see it being very fun, though. There's a whole bunch of supporting members that could do great on something like that. It probably takes a few of them to man the ship regularly, and then they could just get. There's enough of them, they could get a wide variety of them on all the time. I would love to listen to it because I know a lot of the crew, and maybe some of the crew I don't know as well. It'd be a good chance for me to maybe find out a little bit more about them. I think
so.
Be pretty interesting.
And more importantly, we determined that it could be a sponsorship opportunity for Massenomics, right?
Yes.
A way to get our name out there a little more.
We definitely, I do think we definitely could potentially be sponsors. We need... See what they are. We want to see their slide deck of what a sponsorship with them all entails.
It's gonna be really upsetting when they're like 3 months in and they have more listeners than we do.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, hilarious. Somehow that one goes viral and it goes off, and we're like, damn it! That's how it is. Everyone blows up around us.
Yes,
but you never know. They have to do it to make it happen, right?
That's true. It's got to just like.
If you build it, they will come.
It takes a lot to put a podcast together and do it every single week for 7 years. Trust us.
It does. It also makes you very thirsty. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, it does make you very, very thirsty.
And we got a little something here from our friends at Hop Tree Brewing in Hudson, Ohio.
Yeah, so this was still courtesy of the Arnold this year. We're still going through Arnold beverages.
Trying to get this sucker to focus. And I got, the Citrus Grove. I'm just trying to show the can
16
here.
ounce, 7% alcohol by volume. Good thing it's a Friday night, huh?
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. Once
we can
you
really
pop,
tie
you can't
one
stop.
on here.
Here we go. Oh, I'm picking up a citrus smell. It actually has a citrus
not that
taste.
crispy of a crack.
Actually has, wow. There's some tartness there. Whoa. I would actually, if someone gave this to me, I'd almost ask it, is this a sour?
Yeah.
Surprisingly sweet.
It's really orange in color, actually, too.
It is.
When I have
That is different than the typical beer I go with, but I got to give it to them in the flavor department. They're packing some flavor in that thing.
I'd say, holy crap.
It's fairly intense as far as the citrus goes.
Yeah. If you like this sort of thing, you'd probably really like this one.
I think so.
It is not my favorite beverage of choice, but
No, I'm not usually a citrus guy. So with that being said, I'm probably like a 3 on this. I think if you like citrus beers, especially, you'd be all about this. But yeah, I'm gonna go 3 on this.
I liked their other beer that we had from them much better.
More of a traditional style beverage.
I'll give this a 2.5 because it's just not my cup of tea. I think I'll probably drink the whole thing because I'm thirsty. But
if you had to pick between this and a protocol, what would you pick?
With this. I would go with this.
Are you sure you don't want to think that one over?
That one does not require a whole lot of thinking on my end.
All right. And again, I cannot remember who gave these to us, but thank you again for supplying cans for the segment. Tanner, I did some eating today, and I made a couple stops.
That's not like you.
No, it's not like me, is it? It's I made a couple stops, and breakfast is always a hot topic of conversation in the Discord, and I believe it was Big Jeff brought up the original Pancake House, which I didn't know that was a chain. There was one here in Southeast South Dakota, and I just thought that was like one or two of them around. I didn't realize they were in other places, and he said they were amazing, so I thought I need to go there.
And it's unaffiliated with the International House.
Yeah, this is a totally different thing. Totally different thing.
Kind of confusing.
I mean, they both serve breakfast, but outside of that, they're different things. And I actually tried to go there with our family 2 weeks ago, and it looked kind of busy. My wife ran in, and it was a 45-minute wait. There's no way you're doing that with kids.
I ain't about that.
No, not at all.
45-minute wait with kids? Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Like if you get sit down immediately to make it through.
Yes, exactly. So today we said, you know what? When the kids go to daycare, we're going to go over to the original Pancake House. We're going to see what this is all about. It's a Friday. It shouldn't be too bad. We get there, and of course
What street is it on?
It's on 41st.
Is it close to the interstate?
No, you're thinking of the Frying Pan.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely been to the Frying Pan.
Yeah, it's not that.
Okay.
It's there's like a strip mall. It also has a pizza ranch in it. It's actually next door to a pizza ranch, so that means something. But it's right by like home. Best Buy over there is where it's at. So we went there today, and it was a 20-minute wait, which was annoying. But at this point, I've gone twice. There's no kids. I'm toughing it out. I'm going to see what this is about. And I got to say, it was one of the better breakfasts I've ever had in a restaurant. I was, for what it is.
From the picture, I really like the looks of it.
The eggs are 5-egg omelets, which is pretty good. I don't think 5 is the standard. I always thought
that's
3
a stout
was,
daddy.
Yeah. And it was like a souffle omelet. So it's like this thick, light, like, I don't even know. It's just this big, it was really, really good. The pancakes were top notch. I got some crepes too, because I'm not sure I've really ever had crepes. At that point, that was just overdoing it. It was so much food, I could not get it all down. But I was very, very impressed. And even the decor inside, they don't go with like the traditional breakfast type place to everyone.
Yeah,
it was a surprisingly upscale feeling for being the original Pancake House. So it was very good.
Did you see the chat in?
Yeah, that's definitely not my wife. she definitely does not know how to get here, so that's not my wife.
That tricked me for a split second. As the words were coming out of my mouth, I realized that was probably was the case. But.
I saw that name and I'm like, well, I might be tricked, except I know my wife has no clue how to get here, so that's definitely not Leah.
The supporting members are playing tricks on us again.
Yeah. So that was the first meal of the day. Actually, ended up not eating that one until a little later on. So then tonight I had to hit up Five Guys. It'd been a while since I had Five Guys, and not quite as good as I remember. I think my expectations were maybe a little too high. It was good, but it was not like the best burger I've had. Good for that type of establishment.
I really like the sounds of that breakfast joint though. Again, I'd like to check that out.
If you ever come here, we for sure, or you have time, like that's going to be the thing is like, you're going to show up on a Saturday and you're not going to have time to sit around for an hour to get in line there. But if you ever do, I told Leah the first thing we got the food, I said, Tanner would go crazy for this. It's just
even when I just saw the picture, I was like, that looks really good.
Yes. It's just a ton of breakfast food done right, which is like Tanner's favorite thing.
That is, Five Guys. I had that a month or two ago. I've had it several times. We don't have it locally, so I don't have it very often, but that's fine. I guess fine. I have the same assessment that you have of that.
Yeah. We got done with it and I said, honestly, I might pick Culvers over this.
Yeah.
And it's really expensive. A burger is like $10. Fries are like another $4.
It is
a couple
expensive,
more bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I just spent like $18 to get almost a fast food burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Everyone loves a good food update, don't they?
They do. So it keeps the world spinning.
Let's see. What should we hit on next? We have so many things here.
Should we get the big announcement out there?
Yeah, let's get you mean the granddaddy announcement of them all? One of our biggest
daddy.
You're talking about we've only mentioned all we've talked about so far that's going to be in this week's drop is the tea, right?
The podcast tea.
Yeah, and what we didn't tell them about is
there's more.
Yeah, there's more. A new sticker pack.
Oh my God, people are going crazy right now.
There is a new sticker pack. This is obviously just teasing the main thing, but there's a new sticker pack available. It's got the Massenomics logo, our pack logo in it, and then this logo, Massenomics Podcast logo, very similar to what you see on my tee that I'm wearing here. So that will be available. And that's not the thing we were really wanted to get to. The really big, exciting announcement is there's one more sticker. Our caution, please keep drinks spotted in this area caution sign that we've had available. It now is also available in sticker form. And if you were to purchase a Drink Spotter, you're likely to also just get one of these for free. Free with every Drink Spotter while supplies last. But the bigger announcement, I've kind of run out of things to keep this shit going, so
trying to think
I
of what
actually
else
have
to
to just
delay
do it. I have to just do it now, but the Drink Spotter Lite is here. We've
For the first time on camera.
Yeah, a lot of people have, the first time really just properly displaying it on camera. The Drink Spotter Lite has arrived. This is also coming out on Thursday, so as you listen to this, if you're listening early in the week, it's not available yet, but we're going to come out with them Thursday. We actually do, because of manufacturing, have a somewhat limited number of these at first. So if you want one of these, get in line on Thursday for the drop. But what time are we? Well, the typical drop time would be 4 p.m. Western, Northeast, South Dakota time. On Thursday, the 30th, the Drink Spotter Lite. We should have plenty of photos and video content to go along with this for you to check this out on Thursday.
Yeah, show them the back too. Give them
to go over some of the details of this. This is actually now, just like the original Drink Spotter, this one is laser cut, but now this is made out of a much lighter aluminum. But as we all know, aluminum has a very high strength to weight ratio. So this is physically considerably lighter than the original Drink Spotter, but with very little sacrifice in strength and durability. And it affixes with a high-powered, rubber-coated earth magnet.
And why is it rubber-coated? So it doesn't scratch the surface.
So it doesn't scratch your rack. See, let me affix it to my computer screen right now, and you can see how strong it is.
It is very strong, though, unless you're putting like 25-pound weights in this, or
you
throwing your drink down as hard as you can. You can't move this thing.
You kind of can hang a 25-pound weight from this, and it'll hold. But it's that we've tested it out, and so yes, it is very strong. It is actually hard to remove from the rack. Once you got it,
you can't really pull it straight off the rack. You got to basically push it to the side of the post to get it off. But it doesn't go just on racks.
This
because
can go
it's a
anywhere.
magnet, it attaches to anything.
Plates, reverse hypers,
kettlebells,
lat pull downs, cable crossovers. We've put it on just about everything on
fridges,
in the gym.
Toolboxes.
Yep.
It does attach to just about everything. Cars, probably, yeah. Monos, yes. Monolifts.
Cars, yes. Probably one of the most exciting.
Yes, it is like the new truck nuts. That is correct.
Keith asked toilets. You'll have to stay tuned for some of our promotional videos that we shot to find out more on toilets. We actually covered that specifically, so you'll see. Maybe one of the most exciting parts about this, because of the manufacturing, the materials used, the size, the way it's made, how we made it, who we made it with. This comes at almost half price of the original Drink Spotter. So that's pretty exciting. This is going to be, everyone at this point was thinking, wait, the original Drink Spotter was $60. This is so innovative. It must be $120. It seems twice as cool. No, we went the other direction on you, and we had to charge more for shipping on the original Drink Spotter because it's so much heavier. This one's being so much lighter. Shipping is free. So when you look at price plus shipping and handling, this is about half the price. So this is just a little over $30 is what we're charging for this now, which is a steal. In the USA. Yes, also still made in the USA. Made in the USA from high-grade materials and laser cut. It's cool. This has been in the works for a very long time. Oh my God. The idea, here it is. Idea of needing something has existed for a year, 2 years. Well, not 2 years. The original Drink Spotter's not even 2 years, but it was not too long after there was ideas for, okay, we need to do something cheaper. And it's just been floating around forever. And we really started to hit it hard the last few months here. And this thing has came to life pretty quickly. And we're very happy with the way it's turned out. Oh,
You don't have much of an attachment point there.
Yeah.
Tanner's trying to put the drink spotter on his.
I'm actually using it.
Yeah, trying to put it on
just a way too small piece of metal, and I was actually worried that this wouldn't work, and I'd look like a fool trying
half an
it.
inch across maybe, and it's still sticking to it.
Yeah, it's too rounded, so it wants to move. I can't angle it the direction I want to.
But yeah, it has a magnet, so you don't have to worry about hole size anymore. It fits on just about everything. We left the arms that hold the drink in. We didn't put them all the way to the back of the drink holder because you can fit a coffee cup in it, like the arm of your mug can fit towards the back now. It depends on the size of your coffee cup, but yeah, it does have
Case in point, I just did it while you were saying that.
Yeah, you're giving the live demo. The unfortunate part is I don't think the way we crop the YouTube videos that anyone will see that stuff out of frame over there.
oh, that's actually out of the. Yeah,
I think it is.
So people watching live can probably see that. But,
yeah, people watching live can see it. Everyone else probably is just like, why is Tanner doing all this stuff off frame that we can't see?
So we are, genuinely excited about the Drink Spotter Lite because we have been working on it for quite a while. So getting it to come to life is really fun. And what are we at for time?
30 minutes.
Okay.
11.
I guess this will just be our last topic before we lead into guests and stuff like that. But we've had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun shooting some promotional videos for it too.
We shot some, of course, as is tradition with this, we came out with a new infomercial style commercial, and Tanner brought the energy on that one. So
if you're used to just only listening to me on the podcast, you'll be in for quite the treat when you hear
wait, is that Tanner or Billy Mays? What's going on here?
I turned the dial up to 11 and then busted the knob off.
Yeah, so be on the lookout. That YouTube video will be dropping this Thursday or this coming. Yeah, the same day, the 30th. It's going to be a really fun video. I'm not done editing yet, but it was a lot of fun shooting it. I can say that for sure.
Well, and you came, so you were back in Western Northeast South Dakota. You showed up. Was that this week?
Yeah, it was Monday night. I got there at Monday night at 8:00, and I thought, we have some different content things we want to film and get some photos for some different stuff. I thought, I'll be here like maybe 2 hours. We left the gym. It was about 11:50 p.m., wasn't it, when we got done? Yeah, we did about 4 hours of content, but damn, it was a content creation machine down there for 4 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got some really good, cool photos out of it, of course, but then also enough for several videos that
should we give him a little spoiler on what one of the updated videos is going to be?
Yeah, one of the updates.
We have a new gym tour finally coming out, and man, I did not believe you when you said how old the last gym tour video was.
Yeah,
it's
how much has changed.
Yes, how much has changed. It's insane. So that one was fun to do.
And that video, I think, is going to be super cool too. Yes. I think that'll be a fan favorite, actually.
Yes, it's. I think it's going to be a way more fun video than the last time we did one because we have no idea what we're doing.
We originally did a tour with Coop a while back, and then we did our own one, our own tour, and it was a really good tour, and we really showcased stuff. But this one was definitely more fun, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally.
Yeah, we were riding off that infomercial high.
We
just kept it rolling into the,
the good vibes were just flowing in the gym.
You might think it being 3 hours past my bedtime that I would be almost asleep giving the tour, but that wasn't the case.
I was very tired when we left there, but I was also so jacked that I had trouble sleeping when I got home.
Yeah,
because I had to take a little peek at the footage, and when I saw it, I'm like, damn, this is really cool.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We've been pumping out new videos, new YouTube video every week. Make sure you're subscribed on our YouTube channel. We're going to keep that rolling. We've got several other videos in the pipeline, including all the stuff we're talking about here and more, right? I mean,
And we just this week released the Arnold food recap. I believe that covers our entire Arnold content from a YouTube side of things.
Yep. So we're on to the next. We're on to the Drink Spotter now.
Mm-hmm.
The Drink Spotter Lite, that is.
The Drink Spotter. Buy one. It needs to take over the world.
Yeah.
Every weight rack, toolbox, car, everything in the country needs one of these.
What else is made out of metal? Everything that's made out of metal.
Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Anything.
supporting our supporting members. I want to touch on that. That's a segment that we have of the podcast each week where we have these supporting members that choose to support the podcast monetarily. We have at least 4 different levels that you can choose to sign up at. Go to our website, go to our shop, or what's the direct URL that they can go to on that?
Massenomics.com/join.
Massenomics.com/join. You can go there to get more information and get signed up. We'd love to have you join the team, join the crew, as we call them affectionately. It's a very active community. You get access to our Discord, where you can listen along live to the podcast each week. You get a discount code in there, and coolest part is just getting to chit chat with all these people and in on the whole another level of Massenomics that you maybe never knew existed until you joined. And then each week we like to give back to them through this segment of supporting our supporting members. So this week, Big Dylan took 4th out of 13 at the Southeast Strongman Classic in Alabama. He did that via some big numbers here, a 716 deadlift PR, a 1,500-pound yoke pick, and he won the carry medley. He qualified for Strongman Corp Nationals.
All right.
So that's cool. Then Big Murlock Jones went 9 for 9 at a charity powerlifting meet. He had PRs in all 3 lifts for a 13:20 total and third best dots. PRs in all 3 lifts, it literally does not get better than that, does it?
It do not.
Then Big Zax the Destroyer went 6 for 9 in his meet. He hit his first 2,000-pound total. It was 2,077 pounds. He did that via some big numbers, obviously, an 843 squat, 507 bench, and 727 deadlift.
Ooh.
Well-rounded big numbers for Big Zax the Destroyer. So thank you, supporting members. Then I wanted to fill you guys all in on our good friends over at SPUD Inc. You can check them out at spud-ink-straps.com. And I'm going to be paraphrasing this a little bit when I say this, but...
Well, that goes almost without saying at this point.
That's true. This only goes through the 27th of March. So that would be Monday, the day that this comes out. This is your last chance to get on the sale. It's the Everything Sled sale, and it's 10% off all sled stuff with code SLED10. Like I said, it ends March 27th. Plus, you also get a free yellow Econo strap with all orders over $199. Plus, you get free domestic shipping on all orders over $75. Check all of that out at spud-ink-straps. Make sure to let them know that your good buddies over at Massenomics sent you. That was a direct paraphrase.
All right. The crew had made a comment, it's 7 years. Do they get to stay on late? I don't know.
No. I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that.
Okay. Then I don't want you to be uncomfortable, so we better boot them then.
Yeah. Crew, make sure to check out 7-Year Podcast Tee, though. Thursday, limited run of sorts.
And also Drink Spotter. It's very important that if you take anything away from this conversation today, buy the damn Drink Spotter. You have to do it.
That would be the key. Or are they going to revolt? That's fine. They can bitch about it on the crew cast.
Yeah. Go vent about it over there.
So we'll work on getting our guests then on the horn for this week, as long as, Tommy, you're in agreement that we should, in fact, get our guest on the horn.
I think we should. It'd be rude to have them block this out and then leave them hanging.
Yeah. Ain't nobody want to get left hanging like that.
Mm-mm.
I'll got to dial up the old phone machine here. I've got one of those. I still use one of those dial phones.
Rotary, yes.
Yeah, rotary phones.
You're kind of a record guy, so it does make sense.
Yeah, I like to just be authentic about the entire era.
And when you say, I like to be authentic to like that 50s through 70s lifestyle.
I don't want to be considered to be a poser.
You don't believe in seatbelts. You smoke everywhere you go. You litter a lot.
All the good stuff that they made us get rid of.
Yeah, that you can't do anymore.
Littering. I really miss littering.
Littering,
Isn't it funny that
smoking.
people used to like litter and not?
Yeah, like it
wasn't
was
really
like, oh, I'm done with this. I'll just leave this here.
throw it outside.
That's not even like That's funny because it's not even like a hippie green thing. It's just like, no, let's just not put trash in places where we walk.
Well, it's like I don't want trash I don't want people to drive by my house and throw trash out the window.
Here's a dirty diaper. Here you go.
Yeah, that I do not. I agree. That is not a hippie
No, it's not even
what
that.
some people could consider over the top environmental. That's just like
it's just like
decent human behavior.
It's just not being shitty.
Yeah. All right, let's dial up Big Kevin. Can you hear that, Tommy?
Not yet, but I can't a lot of times.
Hello.
Big Kevin, is that you?
It's me.
All right, just the guy we're looking for. We got you live on the Massenomics Podcast with Tanner and Tommy.
What's up, Kevin?
What's up, boys?
We're excited to get you going. We're not keeping you awake too late, are we?
Oh, no, it's only 8.
All right. Big mountain time zone guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
It's snowing outside and dark already, so who knows? I might be in bed soon.
it's snowing there. So we're kind of in the same boat. You know, we're from South Dakota, western northeast South Dakota. So we have feet and feet of snow on the ground still. What's it like there?
And super cold.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
What's it like there? Like, what is the temperature during the day right now?
it's like mid 30s today,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
pleasant.
It's been snowing and raining on and off for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been like that for the last 3 months here. I'm pretty sure. I feel like
That might be longer than
Oh
that.
my
even.
gosh! No, thank you. I went to Fargo once for a competition out there. As a qualifier for South Africa Arnold, and that was the coldest I've ever been.
what
time of year was
would
it?
it have been? Yeah, like when was it?
When was that? 2018, I think.
Okay. Yeah, we're just a few hours away we're just a couple hours south of Fargo, so we feel the pain.
Oh man, the coldest I've ever been. Like it was cold, and then the wind on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm like walking next to a building, and I turn the corner, and the wind just hits me, and oh my gosh. I'd rather take 120 degrees outside than that. That was
Yeah, it is more brutal than extreme heat, I think, usually.
Yeah, it just
I don't
hurts. Like it's an instant
Yeah.
hurt. Like heat sucks,
hurts
but
to
it doesn't
breathe.
like hurt instantly.
Your lungs are your lungs are just like, what the frick is this?
I'm surprised there was that big. Who put that? Where was that at in Fargo?
Mitch.
Oh yeah, Mitch and
Mitch,
Stacy. What is it, Tommy? What's their
No, isn't it Mitch
Lacey
Stacy?
Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
Hughes.
you go,
Yeah.
They put out a good show, man. There was a lot of people that showed up out of town. And pretty heavy too. It was a heavy show. But yeah, it was a qualifier for South Africa. I ended up winning it and then going to South Africa.
Okay.
The longest flight I've ever been on.
Yes, I believe it. So we got to ask you all the important questions first. So we understand your last name is Ferris, but we hear some people say Fairs.
No, you said it right the
Right.
first time.
Do people get that wrong a decent bit though?
Fairs, Fars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
We did pretty extensive homework of just trying to figure that out, and that's all the farther we made it. So we do know that for sure that was how you say your last name.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, yep, we're gonna get to that too. We got some important questions around that. So
Oh yeah.
okay, our next most important question: what did you think? How was Brothers Bar in Columbus?
I was only there for a little bit, but it was packed. It was fight night, UFC fight night. It was crowded in there. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, it was very crowded in there. We saw you walk in there, and we never saw you again. But it was It is a little too crowded in there, probably.
Yeah, we didn't last super long either, but yeah, it was. Yeah, I think by the time we left, there was still more people piling in.
Gosh, yeah, and it's hard too because I didn't want to be under peer pressure. I haven't. I'm kind of switching things up. I love a beer here and there, but I haven't had a beer in probably since New Year's. So just trying to switch things up a little bit.
Is it just in the spirit of dialing in your training more?
Yeah, because I would. I mean, for the last few years, I didn't really. I would drink here and there, but I got a little out of hand because I knew that I was going to take the time for this season. So when I went to Liverpool for that team event in the UK, that was in November, 1st of November, and I drank. I hate to say it, but I drank almost every single day until the new year. Just I had to get it in. I had to get it off. And
you had to make up for future lost time that you knew you were going to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's pound these down because who knows when I'm going to have one next. So.
Yeah. What's your go-to beer of choice or drink of choice if you were in the drinking spirits?
Ooh, whiskey and Coke, man. That hasn't let me down. And I don't know if you guys have 805 out there. That's one of my go-tos.
I don't think we do.
No.
Is that a whiskey or what is that?
It's out of California. It's kind of it's a lighter beer.
Beer. Okay.
Yeah. 805. Cerveza.
Is that okay? I think I've had this in Arizona before.
Yeah,
Yes.
You probably have. Yeah, Arizona, Nevada, California. We got it, but we got stupid rules, and they don't put as much alcohol in our beer here.
Oh, in Utah. Yeah. Right.
Is it true? Is it true in Utah you need the little bar passport to go to bars?
No.
Was that ever a thing?
But they raised the alcohol limit, but lowered the DUI. So it's a 0.05 now instead of a 0.08.
Okay. We're 0.08 for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but so it's like, okay, now you're trying to screw with people because they're not going to know what they're drinking. They're going to get hammered and then they're going to blow and now they're screwed.
So there's like a limit to alcohol by volume in a beer or something like that. Is that what it is? Like it can only be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is. I have family in Vegas, so they just bring me beer because I can't do the. Utah's like drinking water.
Yeah,
water beer. So
yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. So we were talking about Columbus and the Arnold. We got to meet you at the Arnold this year, and you competed obviously again. You pulled, you had several highlights from the weekend. One of them, you pulled. Was it 901 or what was the weight on your deadlift? I know it was over 900.
Yeah, 901.
So
it's not a PR, but hey, we'll take it because I wasn't even prepping for this show. It was kind of a last minute. I had a week's notice because Maxime Boudreau got injured, and so I was alternate, but I have Worlds coming up, so I was training Worlds events, it's all for reps. All the deadlift in the qualifier and the finals is for reps. So. And I have been focusing on that more so than a max. So that was a nice little win right there.
Yeah, and then some of the other event wise, what do you think of the stone throw event? I
thought it was. Who listens to your channel? Because
nobody that's making any decisions at the Jan Todd is not listening to it. Nobody at Rogue Fitness is listening to this. So.
It was the dumbest event. Like every single person I talked to that was watching it, they just thought it was just boring. It was boring. It was like, obviously it's going to favor the taller guys that have more leverage and heavier guys because it was like I think it was 187 pound stone. So yeah, not amusing, not very fun.
Well, from a spectator point of view, the problem to me is you can't tell the difference. If someone throws between 12 feet or 15 feet, it all looks the same. Yeah. Like I've actually done that event before in an amateur strongman, like 7 years ago. And I thought the same thing then. I'm like, this is not good. Nobody watching can tell one slight difference from the worst to the best. Like, it all looks the same. It all looks kind of awkward. Nobody looks strong or athletic when they're doing it. You know, like nobody
no one
looks
professional throwing rocks.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quirky.
Yeah. I would hope that they don't do that one again.
Let's just that's the first time and the only time. Let's not ever throw that in there again.
Yeah, it sucks because they probably, they made that pit and all that stuff for it to try to make it good and cool, but I mean, I think that's a bust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they were trying to bring like history into it, because obviously, like, all Arnold events really are historic, but that's just like we're not Highland Games athletes, Like I could see like maybe like a weight over bar, or
that would be a lot better. A weight over bar is way better to watch than that. Like or like when you throw kegs for height, that's not a bad event, or keg over bar, or even the sandbag over bar event that they used to do. All that height throw stuff is better looking than that thing.
Well, because then you can see the measurements, you can see the height, like if and see who's getting dropped out, and yeah, it's not inches within each other, like
right, yeah, and even if it's like there's when you watch someone like barely miss like a sandbag over bar or something like that, it's exciting.
You have that immediate pass fail feedback. Like there's none of that on. It's like, let's bring out the measuring tape and see what's going. It's that whole thing.
Yeah, and I didn't even know how they were measuring it too, because it's like it was landing so good that like you couldn't really see the marking too.
Yeah.
Like, are you getting it off the roll, or are you getting it off where it first hits, or like, I don't know. Way too hard to measure.
Yeah. Then you also, on the weekend, you broke a world record too, right?
Yeah, I broke my my standing record from last year with the replicas. Wasn't really expecting to do it, just because I had a heavy show prior. But I actually felt pretty good waking up Sunday morning. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, so for anyone that's listening and that wasn't watching, it's the Denny Stone carry for distance world record, and it's on the Denny Stone replicas that Rogue, or who I don't know who makes those exactly, who made those exactly, if it's Steve Slater or Rogue or some combination there. But have you ever lifted you haven't been to Scotland and lifted the other ones, I don't think, have you?
No, I'm planning on doing it this year sometime. I really want to get out there. I actually talked to the owners of Rogue when I was at the Rogue Invitational, and they wanted to do a documentary on.
Well, they should frickin' send you out there and film it to break the record. I mean, that's obvious to me that's what they should do. Of course, they should definitely do that.
So I haven't heard anything on it, but I'm gonna talk to them at Worlds, because they're sponsors out there. But see if we can still line it up, if they were still planning on doing it, because I think they were gonna bring out a few guys, Brian Shaw again, Lawrence Chalet, me, and some other grip guys. So it would be great. But I also told them, I said, I'm only walking the bridge. Like, I'm not going to go out there, because they have it in two different areas. So they have the hotel that's out there, and that's where the stones sit most of the time.
Yep.
But the real walk is the bridge. And I guess it's the only. I heard that it was the only way to get into that town is that bridge. But you're walking the width of the bridge, not the length.
Right.
I think I want to say it's 17 feet.
So what's the record there? Is it the time that you can do it in, or something? Is it like?
No, it's just no one's ever walked the bridge.
Oh, nobody's ever made the full distance before. Okay.
With one single pick.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I told them the only way I'm going to do it is if I can do the bridge, because I guess they got to find funds in the right time to shut it down, because I guess it's the only time to get in. So
right.
Yeah.
So the record you broke at the Arnold this year, how much did you break your last record by? Like, was there a line on the stage there that you could see what you had to get past?
Yes, I think my record from last year was 25 feet and 6 inches. And I walked 31.7, I believe.
You almost broke it by too much.
Yeah.
I know. Well, if you could watch the video, like I broke the record right off the bat.
In their first walk, you were past it already. Okay.
Yeah, and I dropped it, but everyone was yelling at me, pick it up, go again. And I was like, I didn't know that I could pick it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, all right. So I picked it and turned to the judge and was just like, are we good with this far enough?
Yeah.
Like, cause I was just in the moment. I couldn't really see the mark. And I'm sitting there holding the stones, talking to him, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't want to walk. I don't want to have to walk more next year."
Right. Right. That's kind of the thing on those records. I mean, maybe it's an unspoken rule amongst everyone, but like usually everyone's just chipping them. Yeah.
Hey, it's a good payout. So
exactly.
Like, hey,
why do you want to screw yourself on next year's payout?
Go another 6 inches. Go another 6 inches. You're good.
That's what my wife always tells me too.
If only we could have another 6 inches.
The 2 is not enough anymore.
No, just not doing it. No, it's not cut.
So you do that hook grip then?
Yeah. So actually, the last year, and a lot of people didn't know this, but I've never done hook grip. I've never tried it, never attempted it. I tried it one time in training, was like, well, this hurts. Especially with those rings. Yeah. Those rings are just, I mean, they're
brutal.
Cheese graters, you know? So I'm like, gosh, with how heavy those rocks are and how much they move, you don't want to risk, first off, tearing your hand because it's moving so much in your hand. So I just risked it last year, and I was like, yeah, screw it. Like, pain is pain. It's only temporary. Let's lock it in and go. So yeah, first time I ever did it was last year's record. So I was like, yeah, let's do it again.
I think that's how you're supposed to learn hook grip, by just doing on the
when you go for the world record.
Yeah.
Screw it. Let's go.
Yeah. So how were your thumbs afterwards?
Oh, fine.
Oh, really?
The thing about hook grip, like, I can't hook grip a normal barbell. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like I can't get far enough onto your thumb.
Yep.
I mean, I got decent sized hands, but I can't figure it out. But with those, I feel like I can get almost my index finger right on top of my knuckle of my thumb. And it was weird because I actually did the stone. They're called the nickel stones. I did those in Scotland at the Giants live show, and almost every time I've done the hook grip, it's weird because it almost feels like you're about to lose it. Like within like 5 feet, I was like, oh shit, like I'm losing the grip, and then it like slips into place
and like locks in there. Yeah,
yeah, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, oh, all right, let's go. So.
Who has do you know who has the hold world record right now, and could you break that too?
So there is, I want to say Mark Felix.
Yeah.
It might be gosh, I can't remember his name. He lives in Scotland. I think he held it for about, I think it's 45 seconds he held it for. But I would love to try and attempt that too. Cause I think on my time alone walking, I was at like 30. I want to say I was at 37 seconds.
Well, that's with it banging around both of your legs constantly. You know, I mean, that's way harder.
But the weird thing is like with that, I'm more so worried about my steps and walking and controlling the stones against my legs than I was my grip. When you pick them and you're just standing there for time, the only thing you have to worry about is grip.
Right.
So
you start thinking about it more. You're like, yeah, this does. Wait a second, this does hurt my hands. Yeah.
Well, I do have something in my hands, shredding them.
Yeah. So what is your grip training like? Obviously, I mean, you're known for having a very strong grip. Do you train grip?
Actually, I do the opposite. So I wrestled for about 9 years of my life, and obviously that's all just grappling and grip alone. And then I do fire sprinklers, fire protection systems. So it's a lot of tightening in pipe and tightening in pipe with my hands and with wrenches. So I give my grip strength a lot for that. But it's weird because like with deadlifts, I'll warm up with no wraps until it gets to the point where it's putting me out of position with my deadlift that I'll put straps on. Like I think I have 670. I hit 675 double overhand. So
That's
but
yeah,
it's
that's crazy.
But as far as grip, like it's weird because if I train grip at the gym, it actually works against me. My grip then suffers. So it might be weird to hear, but like other guys will train their grip at the gym and they'll be fine. But if I train it at the gym, then it just doesn't work.
Has anyone ever kept a log of like the strongest, like the biggest double overhand deadlifts before? I mean, that 675 has to be up there, doesn't it?
What did they had that grip contest, arm lifting?
Arm lifting. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, arm lifting. Isn't that what it is? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching some stuff on that the other day, but they were using an axle and they made it up to 5. I think he won it like 570.
That's pretty crazy too. Like, and there's different grip stuff. So are your hands big? Like, compared to like, obviously like Brian has enormous hands. How do yours stack up to the average pro strongman, do you think? Like, are yours bigger than normal or you just got a strong grip?
I think they're normal size.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, normal size for you guys is a really relative term.
Yeah.
Because Tommy and I we were talking about that, like
average.
Right. You know what? I mean, out of the 10 at the Arnold this year, were you one of the smallest 2, probably, right?
I think Rob had me by 5 pounds.
Okay, I was going to say you and Rob had to be in the same ballpark. So, relatively speaking to a pro strongman show, you're small. But yet, when you walk into a room or any gym,
gym, you'd be like, "Why is
people
this
would walk
enormous
in,
guy here?"
Yeah, everyone would be like, "Holy shit! Look at this dude! Who the hell is that?"
It's weird. Yeah, you go around town, and everyone's like, "Wow, you're massive. What do you do?" But like, you go to a strongman event, and no one asks you that. I feel left out.
What are you competing in the middleweights or?
I didn't know they were having 105s.
But what are you a little over 300 or what do you normally weigh?
No, I'm sitting at 280 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been hell trying to keep weight on. It doesn't matter what I do, what I eat. I could eat a full cheesecake every night. Actually, I tell people I went on a Ben & Jerry's diet. I had a pint of ice cream every single night for an entire year and didn't gain a single pound.
Really? What flavor did you go with? Did you mix it up?
I had to mix it up. I'd find a good one and then it would just burn out within 2 weeks.
Did that feel like work or was it delicious every time?
It got towards the end. It got to the point where I was just like, I'm sick and tired of ice cream. This is horrible.
Yeah.
So then I moved on to cheesecake and.
Yeah. So even when you're trying to like getting around like 280 it's hard for you to go much higher than that.
Yeah, I was sitting at my heaviest for this Arnold's. I was around 287. And the crazy thing is like my weight bounces around like crazy. Like I'll weigh in at like 285 at night, wake up in the morning, I'm 275.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing 10 pounds in my sleep. I'm like, where the hell?
What are you dreaming about in your sleep?
Are you running marathons or what? Man?
Yeah, you're like a dog when they're like, oh, he's chasing a rabbit.
Mine's just racing. I'm just burning calories.
Yeah, I mean, you realistically give up almost on average 100 pounds to a lot of the competition.
Yeah, and it's been like that, gosh, my entire career. I did my first pro show 2018, and I was 245 pounds. The next guy that was even close to me was 310 pounds.
Yeah.
Ended up taking second. That's when I knew, like, all right, I can keep up with these guys. I just need to put a little more weight on, just a little more.
Yeah, so your next comp coming up is World's Strongest Man. What is that about how far is that, a month, or how far is that?
No, it's less than a month. I think it's for three weeks out.
Okay, and World's Strongest Man Instagram page, they've been stepping up their game a little bit. They've had some funny stuff out there, and even just today I saw a meme where it was something about the athletes' reaction when they see the event list this year. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was funny. They've been having some pretty decent content, but it made me wonder, because I don't know if I've really seen the event list or whatever. It almost alluded to the fact that it's like heavier than it has been in a long time. Is that the case, or?
It's weird because they'll call out weight, but then when we get there, like, we were supposed to have, I think it was a 340 log last year for reps, and it was 310. The loading race. I mean, you usually predict everything being around 300 pounds, and like the first three implements were 250, 260 pounds. So
that's kind of too light in a way, almost, don't you think, or not?
Yeah, but like, you got to see, and this is the crappy part, is like, Worlds is a TV show, and we all go in knowing that, but they want to have the dramatic things. They want to see people finish things. As a World's Strongest Man, and is it heavy? Some events, but then other events, like, they want a fine line of people finishing the events, but also some that don't finish. They'll finish mid pack, like, so for like a loading race, they'll finish out of 5, they'll finish 3, but then you have other guys that are blowing it away, so it's sometimes it's hard, but they're getting better as far as, I mean, the waiting around. That's probably the hardest part with Worlds, is because everything is about the TV. It's not about the athletes, which is kind of crappy, but
yeah,
it's World's Strongest Man, and you don't sit and complain. You just you're here.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. I'm wondering two different ways to think about this. What pro strongman show do you think is the best right now? Because there has been, even in the U.S. especially, there's been some, big ground made on these other ones, where the Arnold, it's been significant for a while, but now the Rogue, and then also Brian's the Shaw Classic, those three are all big-time events now. So if you think about those three and Worlds, which one of those is in your opinion, the best pro strongman show today? And then also, which one of those would mean the most for you to win, though, is the other way to look at that.
Oof. Well, I would say, I mean, Brian's got something. He's got something big going on right now, and he's only, he's done it the smart way, where, obviously 2020 with COVID and all that crap, like he had to start it small, but every year it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's a show that's put on by an athlete for the athletes, and he'll say that every time you talk to him. Like, I know what you guys want. I know what you guys need. I know what equipment you want, and we're showing up. He's got food ready for us. He's got a nice place for us to stay. Everything is like ran so good. Some of these other events, it's kind of like, for the Rogue Invitational, it was a great show, and the equipment was amazing and the environment was amazing as far as the show goes. But as far as like how we were treated, and I know it was like a CrossFit Games, and it kind of just felt like we were kind of like the sideshow, circus show, you know?
Yeah.
So that one was a little tough. But Worlds is good too. I mean, they treat us pretty well. And it's going to be beautiful this year. Myrtle Beach, right on the beach, hotels right on the beach. So it's going to be a good time. But yeah, I'd say Brian's is top notch right now.
Okay. But then if you wanted to win one of them the most, would it still be World's Strongest Man?
It would be World's Strongest Man for sure. Just because of what it is and how long it's been around and
right.
What it means.
You only get the title by winning that contest, right? I mean, like that's the title. You could make some argument whether it's true or not, you know, like what you define the strongest man as. Maybe someone could argue Brian's contest does a better job of finding that, or someone could say the Arnold does a better job of finding that. But it depends on what you define that as, I think, too.
Well, and that's the cool thing with Brian's is like he's testing every single part of your body, you know, and that's what's crazy. Like the I don't know if you guys saw it, but the leg press.
Yeah.
That was terrifying, but it's also like literally terrifying. You got a car over the top of you and the thing's just shaking and oh man, yeah, that was scary, but he wants to find who has the strongest legs. And you can't really, I mean, you can find that with a deadlift, obviously, but you're using everything. You're using your back, you're using your legs, you're using your entire body for a deadlift. But to be exact and specific on just legs, like leg press for sure.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Next question is, so, you know, you could go back in time of certain eras of strongman and it's kind of definitively like who's the best. Like there's an era where, you know, Big Z and Brian are definitely the best, or like Magnus is definitely the best, or maybe for a year or two there, like most people would agree Thor is the best. But right now there seems to be like as much parity as ever, where it's harder to say that. Who in your mind is the best pro strongman out there today?
Oh, gosh. I mean, obviously Brian's up there, but he's kind of picked and choosed what he wants to do. But as far as somebody that's like doing a lot more shows and who is staying consistent, I gotta say Trey Mitchell, man. He shows up, and I mean he's won back-to-back Shaw Classics. He podiumed at the Rogue Invitational. He was literally right there to podium at Arnold's, but we're working on his grip. We'll get the grip.
Yeah, he needs a couple pointers from you. Actually, maybe you don't want to give him those pointers, you know. Like
I told him, dude, I'll give you every arsenal I have, man. Like I want you to succeed. And that's the thing with strongman. It's like those guys are my brothers. Like there's no other sport like this. Like obviously we're competing against each other, but like we're there also cheering for each other. Like it's an insane sport, but we know what it takes to be at the top, and then the hours put in, and the food intake, and I mean every single aspect of it. So there's a lot of respect in this sport, and wherever I can help, I'll help them out, and wherever I need help, they'll help me out. So
yeah, and you know, someone like Trey, he's a really good dude, so it's like really easy to want to help someone like that too, you know.
Absolutely.
It's funny, your answer. I would probably almost have said the same thing. I think Trey is one of the top people that would come to my mind if I thought of my answer to that question from the outside looking in. But it's funny. I think that really talks about how much parity there is in the sport, because Tom Stoltman has won back-to-back World's Strongest Man, and Trey hasn't won yet, and he's kind of would almost be my answer, but like someone else could have a lot different answer to that same question too.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is like as far as consistency, like I know Tom, like, and that goes with injuries and everything else. Because I know Tom wasn't at the top at the Arnolds. I know he had some nagging injuries and stuff. But he also had the time off. I think he took 9 months. Him and Luke took 9 months off.
Yep.
So, but you got to say, like, I mean, he's back-to-back champ, but as far as every show goes, like, you have to see who's consistent, who's, excelling, I guess.
Yeah. No, it is really interesting. It'll be a fun year to watch World's Strongest Man too, because there's a lot of guys in there that have won it before, and a lot of guys that have podium before, and a lot of people that could win it this year, I think, too.
That's the crazy thing about Strongman is anything can happen.
Yes.
Anything can happen.
Okay, Kevin, we've got this little game we play with every guest that we have on called Overrated, Underrated. So we got a special Kevin Ferris set of topics handpicked for you. We'll shoot them over to you, and it's just your job to decide if each one is overrated or underrated. But the most important thing you have to remember is you can't ride the line. You have to decide if each one is really over or underrated.
All right.
So first one, overrated or underrated, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the movie.
It's underrated. It's one of my favorites. Not only because I've watched it multiple times, but I lived that life in high school too.
And your teacher your teacher actually probably got to do the thing. He was like, oh wait, no, that's Bueller, I guess. But he was probably like, Ferris.
Ferris. But instead of a Ferrari, it was a Maserati.
That was the only difference.
Yep.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Zion National Park.
Underrated.
Do you, I know that's like a little south probably of where you're at, but Utah's a pretty cool place. Do you go to that sort of, like, living there? Do you go to that stuff very often?
Yeah, we've been down there a few times. The only bad part is actually my brother works for the parks down there, and it is so packed now that it's just ridiculous. Like, don't even try to go there in the spring, summer, because you're not moving anywhere.
Yeah, but it's got to be some pretty sweet scenery. Like, by the pictures of it and stuff, it looks super cool.
Oh, 100% beautiful. Yeah. There's no other place like that. I mean, even some of these hikes, like, I want to do, maybe when I lose a few pounds, I want to do the Angel's Landing. That's one of the top.
That one seems not real when you look at it. And that could be intimidating.
It's a little sketchy. There's some hairy parts where you got to hold on to a chain to get around some areas, but
yeah. Have you ever seen the account on Instagram? It's called Discovery Deadlift is the guy's Instagram handle. His name's Clay Cooper. He's from Utah, and he goes out with his plates and barbell, and he rucks all over the place, and then, like, deadlifts out in,
the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you see that.
he needs to hook up with you sometime, and, like, you go. That would make for a hell of a collab video, since he's from Utah too, and be like, oh no, today we're pulling 850, out here in wherever, Zion National Park.
The only deal is, though, is you have to pack in and pack out.
That would be the thing, though. It'd be twice the, because he's usually maybe pulling 400 or 500 pounds. It'd be to lug 700 and some pounds around to do some sets would be, double the trips. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've watched his videos. That guy's crazy, but hey, he's got a great following and he's got a great idea. I mean,
yeah,
you can deadlift anywhere, literally.
Yeah. I think he does need to get with you though, and do some real heavy deadlifts out there in Utah.
I think it'd be awesome. We'll do it in a blizzard. There you go.
Yeah, that would be best. Okay. Overrated or underrated? We saw this one works for a couple reasons. We saw you recently on one with I think Trey and Bobby. Overrated or underrated Ferris wheels?
That was underrated. The only reason I say that is because they were freaking out. I'm not really scared as much. I kind of live on the edge. I've always lived on the edge. But the Bobby had the great idea. Hey, let's spend a little extra money and get the VIP pod. They gave you like champagne. They gave you a box of chocolates. It was really romantic to have that experience with the boys. But the bottom of the pod was it was all glass, or not glass, but it was well, maybe it was glass, but like really, really thick. And I'm sitting in there. We're at the very top. They stop it up there so we can have our romantic time with it. And I'm jumping up and down, stomping on the grass. And oh man, I thought Bobby was gonna freaking freak out.
Was there any discussion of weight limits with you three guys going in all at once?
No, there were like high school kids packing us in there. They didn't care.
Yeah, I would probably get a little nervous with you jumping up and down on the glass too, to be fair.
It was a good time. It was a great experience. Everyone we showed the videos to was just dying.
Yeah. Okay, last topic, and we usually save the most important for last, so everything comes down to this. Overrated or underrated pastrami burgers?
Ooh. There's this place, Supreme Burger. Well, they have Supreme Burger and Crown Burger out here. They make some pretty good pastrami burgers, so I gotta say underrated.
So what is a pastrami burger? Could you explain that to
I had never heard of it until today.
Where does pastrami even come from?
I don't know. That's a cured meat. I don't even know what pastrami is exactly.
I'm looking right now. It is a looks like it's from beef brisket is where it originates from.
Some of those things it's best not to know the answer, probably.
It's meat. It's protein. Yeah. Let's just put it down. But they pastrami burgers, I would say they're pretty underrated. They're pretty good. I mean, I've had some pretty terrible ones at some places, but yeah, Crown Burger and Supreme Burger out here, they make a pretty mean one.
All right, we're gonna have to mark that on our to-do list next time we're in Utah.
All right, I'll take you guys there personally.
Find the best pastrami burgers in town. All right. Good news. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated. So that's what.
Yes.
That means everything. That means we'll actually air this episode. If you don't do good on that, we just throw it in the garbage. So we're good to go.
I've never passed 100% on anything.
First time for everything. One last question I was thinking about as you're talking with fire sprinklers. What are those usually plumbed in with? Is that like rigid steel piping, or what? Because you said turning wrenches. Is it used with do you use PEX pipe for that, or is it all like steel pipe?
So on like commercial buildings, it's all steel, black steel pipe. Depending on what type of building it is, like at schools or hospitals, you have Schedule 40 pipe, which I'm hanging anywhere from 4-inch, 6-inch to 8-inch in the air. So I guess it's making me strong too, but
yeah, so it's heavy. Like, is it like 10-foot lengths then of it, or
21 foot length?
Oh. So how do you even that would be? How much does a 21-footer weigh? It'd be heavy, obviously.
A 6-inch piece is around 6-inch. 21-footer is probably around 680 pounds. But the crazy thing is like you can leverage it. If I've picked up one by myself, it wasn't fun, but
yeah.
Usually you have a guy or you have a lift there. But I was alone on a job once and had to put a full stick of 6-inch in,
and you were like the one guy that does that profession in the world that was like, I can actually do this.
Everything in my life led up to now.
Stand back. Let the professionals do this.
Yeah. So are you working overhead a lot then with like your both arms over your head?
Yeah.
That sucks. Like if even just like changing a light fixture or anything like that, like do your like delts and stuff get conditioned to that? Do you think that it's not so bad for you?
I was literally telling a coworker today, I was trying to put a hanger on a piece of pipe and kind of thread the pipe up a little bit. And my shoulders were burning so much. I'm like, my shoulders are burning now, but I can put 400 pounds over my head. How does that make sense?
Hey, your arms are just heavier. Like your arms are just bigger and heavier though. Like you'd be best off for some of that to weigh like 140 pounds, I think.
The heavier, the easier.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. That's the content people are going to tune in to find out about that they didn't know they were going to get in this one.
There you go.
Awesome.
All your pipe fitting needs right there.
Kevin laying pipe.
Laying pipe. Yep.
Hanging pipe in the day, laying pipe at night.
6 inches at a time.
All 2.5 inches at a time. This might take a while, but we'll get through it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's really cool. We appreciate you coming on. This is a lot of fun. I think people will be excited to listen to this one.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I was excited when you guys said something to me. I've tuned in quite a bit to your guys' podcast, and it's everything. Every person you've had on, I've barely enjoyed listening to it. So, and the thing is like you guys ask, like I've done a lot of podcasts, and it's always the same monotonous question.
Yeah.
Like I love that you guys like did a little bit of research, and it was a good podcast.
Well, it's more fun for us. We don't want to talk to like 300 different people and ask them all the same questions over and over again.
Sets and reps and training.
How much do you lift?
Yeah, it's like, no, we already know that you're really freaking strong, and like we kind of, I mean, sure there's some differences and stuff, but like all you guys are like, the training is the training, really. I mean, like it takes a lot of hard work, and you putting in the work on sets and reps, but there's only so many ways to skin that cat too, I think.
Yeah. Everyone's doing the same thing, but I mean,
right.
Let's just hear it from 300 other people.
Yeah. No, awesome. We really appreciate it. We'll be cheering for you at World's Strongest Man this year too. We hope it goes well.
Yeah. Good events. So I'm excited, man. Really excited.
Awesome. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Kevin.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you
later.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Did you give Kevin the double cool beans?
Those are Utah cooled beans.
Yeah, with a little. Did you lay a little pastrami on those cool beans for him?
I sprinkled a little pastrami over the top, laid it ever so gently on there.
I guess I was going to ask him really specifically because I don't know, but it's a pastrami burger is pastrami on top of a beef patty. It's not just, or is it just pastrami in replace of a regular patty?
I was looking at pictures here.
He would have been the guy to tell us, I guess, but
he would have.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it looks like pastrami laid on top of a burger is what basically all the pictures are showing.
So it's kind of like when you go get a burger and they like put,
like, hey, you want some deli meats on this thing?
Yeah, or like pulled pork. They'll do that one a lot, right? Where they have like the barbecue sauce on it and all that stuff.
I mean, in a way,
call
it's
it like
not
a fat pig or something like that.
Yeah, it's not too really. The concept isn't that different than a bacon burger,
Right.
Just putting a different type of meat on top of your burger. Right. But I'd still like to try one.
No, that's you probably got to try it in Utah though for it to be authentic.
I think so. Yep, that's the rule.
Yeah, that was good. Big Kevin's a good dude.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. I always like having people on here because then I am much more interested in
seeing
how they
keeping
do.
Keeping up with how they perform and what they do and all that.
it makes me enjoy the sport a lot more because I'm like, oh no, I know that dude is fun and nice and cool. So now I do really want him to see him do well.
That's what everyone has to do. Just everyone has to start a podcast and interview these people so they can be more invested in the sport, right?
You know what happens, like in the case of Strongman, World's Strongest Man in particular, is like it's real hard for us to get the UK guys on here, and then of course like the guys that speak an entirely different language. Mm-hmm. So we end up getting all these US guys all the time. You know, of the US guys competing at World's Strongest Man this year, we've had a lot of them on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. And not that I wouldn't cheer for them anyways, but it really makes me more invested in them and makes me kind of cheer against some of the. I know. Where I'm like, nah, I kind of like these dudes that I know.
This is the home team here,
right?
So
right,
yeah.
Which I know I've made the comment a lot of times before, but for some reason it's weird to me in Strongman that a lot of the fandom doesn't care about the country that they're from. Like,
probably
no,
more
I'm
so
a Thor
than any
fan.
other sport. Yeah,
yeah. They're like, no, I live in Chicago, Illinois, but I'm a Thor fan. I don't like Brian Shaw. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm like, well, it's I don't know, in other, you know, in like Olympic sports in particular, like
else,
that would be.
You just say, yeah, I'm
right.
Obviously going for the home team here.
Right. But I've gone on that rant a number of times before, so I won't do it again.
You just got to scan back through the catalog. Someone will find it if they're curious to hear your thoughts on that.
You know what? There's a couple other things on our list here.
There are. I'm curious about what these are.
And for what can I tell you first about the GOAT?
Yes,
topic
please do.
that I had. So this is not going to be at all what you think it is, and I wanted you to not know based on what I wrote there. So I think it probably worked. We had an Instagram post. I think it was last week at this point in time, and I've never got as many comments as we did as this is your greatest post that you've ever had. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I want to like analyze a little bit about what makes the post the greatest post, because the different interpretations of it are important here, I think. And the post that I'm referring to is not that one. It was Journey Don't Stop Believing.
Live performance.
Journey
performance.
Live. And it was like the pairing of Big Jessica, who's competing at Sheffield right now. Good luck to her, of course. And then Big Grizzly. Mm-hmm. And it is like, what are the words of Don't Stop?
Well, because it starts, just a city girl, and it's showing Jessica like deadlifting, like the cutout of her deadlifting and doing her whole thing. And I actually laughed really hard when the SPD logo comes on. I thought that was so funny.
Yes.
So dumb. And then when it cuts to just a city boy, then it goes to the Grizzly.
Grizzly. So it's kind of like a match. You know, it's like these two have like this. It's like telling this love story almost of these two, which is funny.
And all the while, Journey is performing this live on stage.
Like it's like a close up of the lead singer's face. You know. And then at the end, he just belts up, he just starts screaming, and then it cuts to Grizzly just screaming. And I knew when I was making that one, like when I had the idea, I'm like, I think this is really funny. And like I stayed up late even making that because I was just like, oh, this is funny. I know this is, because sometimes I have an idea and I'm like, I think this is funny, or like, to me, this is kind of funny.
Yes, but there are times when you're like, no, I know this is like, it doesn't happen often, but there are times you know something's funny.
And then as I didn't know exactly how to, I had the idea, you know, I was like, the Journey song. I'm like, she's the small town girl and he's, you know, he's the city boy. And I'm like, oh, that song. And it's so iconic. Everyone in the world knows that song. And everyone like has sung along to that song. And then I'm like, and it's so funny that it's these two, you know, like I just knew it was funny. And then I ended up finding that live version and I'm like, oh, I got to use this live version. And it's funny. I actually had to, you can't tell because of the way I edited it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Yeah. Edited the video.
Yeah. There you go. That's the way to
just to work around it.
Yeah. That when that live version, he doesn't say born and raised in South Detroit. He yells out
what town he's
like
in.
born and raised in Houston, and it's like really messes up the vibe. I'm like, oh, that does not sound right. Like I'm sure they do that at every place they go to.
Yes.
But I'm like, oh, that does not sound right. So I had to then like also get the track of the original song. And then just make sure Grizzly was covering the guy's face pretty well during that line, and then splice that sound. But I didn't want to splice it over the whole thing because it doesn't line up. But I could just splice in that over that part of the track.
And you masked it. Did you think about putting in a resume for Marvel Studios so you could work on the next?
So where I'm going with that is I agreed in some ways when people are like, this is like the best ever, because to me, I don't know why, it's just so funny to me. And like this Jessica Grizzly thing is just really funny to me also because she kind of embraces it, which that's the fun part.
Stupid at the same time.
Yes, like it's so stupid. So they say, oh, goat post. And what I want to say about that, like, yeah, I thought it was really good. It went over well. It had, over 1,000 likes for us, which is good. In terms of views, I'm guessing it was in the tens of thousands. I could tell you that even it was 35,000, which that's fine. That's a good, not way above average, but it's a good post for us. But what is our GOAT post?
we do have a clear GOAT post as of
by
recent.
the analytics, which is funny how this works because to me, this post we were talking about here, the Jessica Grizzly, way 1,000 times funnier than this next one I'm going to talk about. But just the other week, we had a reel go to over 2 million views. Now, I don't know what it's at, we had a few that popped up to 500,000 to 1 million, and then one of them it's at 2 million. It is the Star Wars one where it's Anakin, and he says, I hate them. It's angsty Anakin from the 90s Star Wars. And, the text we had over that was me as a teenager trying beer for the first time. And then it cuts to, what's the bad guy in the new Star Wars movies?
Is it Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren. Yeah. And he's saying more. And this is as they're like shooting Skywalker in the movie. But that's all it was. It's like a 5-10 second clip. And then
it's, what's the text overlaid on that one?
So it's me as a teenager trying beer for the first time, and then it's me as a binge drinking adult. Yes. And he's saying more, Yeah, and it's fine. It's good. I also thought that was kind of funny, but that's a very low effort
post.
Not that special. I think it's funny and it appeals to a fairly broad audience. But that one, it speaks to the weird virality of Instagram Reels, or what TikTok really trended with and others followed suit with.
So how many likes? So over 2 million views, how many likes does a post like that end up with then?
That one, like right now, has 106,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because all 106,000 of those people bought one item from our website. So we did a lot in sales.
That's the other thing, how little it means.
It doesn't mean anything, does it?
That's like probably for Massenomics, the most important takeaway. Yeah, I think from that post, that post that got 2 million views, like
got some followers.
For us, that's going viral.
Yeah.
We got a few hundred followers from that. 2 million views. We got, 300 followers. And in sales, maybe nothing. It's hard, like, impossible to track.
Really different than in the days before or after it. So
right. And it's funny, at that point in time, something weird was going on with our Instagram. We had like 3 videos. That one went to 2 million. One went to 800,000. One went to 600,000. And it was happening all within over this course of a week span. So our engagement on Instagram hockey stick to this ridiculous level, to the point now where our chart after those come down is just like bars that you can't even register.
Flat line of nothingness.
Right. When we go back to like getting like 10, 20, 30,000 views on a reel in comparison to the millions in 1 week, in 1 week when we're getting 5 million. So that's really the GOAT post.
That's my
only point.
I was wondering if you were going to bring up your gout post because there was a post that said goat and gout.
Oh, that was funny though too.
Yeah.
I did enjoy all the gout memes.
Yeah, there was some funny gout memes in the Discord this past week.
I did really enjoy those. I don't know which one the best one was because they were all good.
Yeah.
I really like Tony the Tiger that said, it's gout.
Yeah. And the shirt that said gout was funny too.
Yeah, our out shirt replaced with gout.
Yeah.
Everything hurts. I mean, because it applies so well too. Like that one really. And someone took the nice rack tea and just said nice gout.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one because it's so low
dumb.
effort too. I'm like, nice gout. Don't gout in me.
Yeah.
So that was I'm kind of on the Jessica Grizzly thing there.
I saw
My Lord
that.
and my lady.
There's another post. Okay, I was thinking you said milady, and I'm like, God, we used to always say milady. Why did we say milady? And it's
Come,
because,
my lady. Come, my lady.
well, I mean, there was that too. But did you ever see the movie? I'm playing. This is a very lightning round game of has Tanner seen
Has
it?
you seen it?
Stealing Harvard.
Oh,
It's Tom Green.
I can't say. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it. I'm not saying I haven't seen it. I'm really saying I don't know if I've seen it.
It's Tom Green, Jason Lee, Leslie Mann. It's from 2002. It's very funny. I mean, if you think Tom Green's funny, but in the movie Tom Green, he has like this crazy like 80s van, and he calls it Milady. And so like she's like, get Milady off the lawn, because he has like his van parked on the lawn, and there's just all this really dumb stuff in that movie. But I tried to find a clip because I thought maybe there'd be something funny there, but I could only find them mentioning it like super quick for a second, so nothing that would carry over good.
Maybe there's something so you don't think there's something that can be pulled from that?
I tried typing in YouTube Stealing Harvard Milady, and I couldn't find more than like just a split second of them.
Sometimes you have this idea from a movie, and it's really hard to find the good clip of it.
Or the way you remember the clip is different than what it actually is. That's my biggest problem. Is I think I know what's it gonna be, and then I go find the clip, and I'm like, well, actually, they're spaced apart differently, like if you bring it together to make it a little punchier, it doesn't work.
That happens to me like once a week, honestly. Like this week, it was blank. Have you seen? Here's we go. Have we seen it? Have you seen it? Blank Check.
I've never seen all of it. No,
really?
No, I haven't.
That's a kind of a kid classic.
I know. There's some of those Disney like type movies like that I just never liked as a kid. I don't know.
Yeah. But there's a scene in there when he's like gets this check, but he's on his old Macintosh computer. You know, like early 90s.
Yep.
And he's like typing it in. At first, he's like $100. And then he's like, wait a second, $1,000. Then he's like, the music gets all cool. And he's like, $1 million. And, you see him type it in. And it, like in my mind, I was like, oh, that's something like pricing our lift shorts or something like that. Yep. And I go to the clip, and like everything I found is like a screen recording of
and they just all
VHS
suck.
Tape, and it's such an unpopular scene, but
right.
like it applies to what I'm thinking.
Well,
but like
the other thing too is a lot of
it
times
doesn't even exist on YouTube.
Yeah, you remember something that's said in a scene, and you'll look it up, and as far as the movie goes, that scene is like of no consequence. So there's no recording of it out there anywhere.
Right. I did some other looking at other scenes though, because it had me thinking about that movie. I'm like, there's something to be pulled from there. And there's the character in there whose name is Juice. He's like one of the bad guys. And I don't know what that actor is, but he's kind of a funny guy, and he had a few funny lines in there. And I thought about pulling something there, but maybe more to come on a Blank Check meme. Stay tuned.
Never say never, right?
Yeah. Do we have any time left? I had one other topic.
Yeah, we got a little time still.
Okay, and then we got a couple ads to round this one out with, I think, too. What I've got in here is Roundhead update. So, this has been a wild week. Also, this recording just 2 days later feels like it's a long time between recording.
I totally agree. Yes,
just like 2 days later makes it feel like it's been forever.
Yes.
I talked last week about how I'm going to want to get into collecting classic York Roundhead dumbbells.
And you are now into actually collecting York.
I am actually. Lots happened in this last week. So I through the help of Discord crew, actually Big Edward, he now has in his possession a lot of the dumbbells for me that he's going to bring with when he comes for the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic in July. He has my sets, a very nice set of York pre-USA stamp round head dumbbells, all a set really. Like this is a, like, I don't know if it's truly one owner, but what someone might say like, this is a one owner original set where they're all a matching set, on restored, really good quality. Even Eddie remarked, who I'm not sure how far he is into like the classic weight thing, but he's like,
Eddie knows his medals.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. But he even remarked, he's like, wow, this was a good set.
Oh, he did.
And this is, yeah. And so Eddie I told him he can keep those warm for me for the next few months. So he said he had to clean out some space in his garage gym, and he's got a lot more dumbbells to play with right now. But that set is 20s through 60s of every 5 pounds, so 20, 25, 30, etc., all the way up to 60. And then I have coming in the mail to me from 3 separate people right now. I have a set of 1s, a set of 2s, and a set of 3s.
Wow.
All in the mail. And you'd think, why do they do that? And yeah, they do that. And there's 5s, 7s. I know there's 9s, 10s, 12s, and then of course 15, 20, etc.
Did you say, was there 11s too or not?
Yeah, I think there is.
I couldn't remember
11s.
You said 11 was really rare.
Yeah, I got to look. 12s are even, like a set of 12s can cost a couple $100.
Damn.
Because 12s are fairly rare. I think like 9s and 11s, if there is 11s, like 9s and 11s are exceptionally rare though, and can cost many $100 for the set.
It's a whole
But I'll worry about those last. But so what I've got, I need to get 5s, 10s, 15s. Those will be easy to add. Those are not rare, and those are easy to ship. So I'll have those within no time. Probably have several leads on those. The harder ones for me are going to be those few very rare smalls, which that'll just be a long game. I'm not worried about filling out my 9s and 11s. But what I want to fill out is my 65s through 100s. Those aren't as rare as the 9s or 11s, but they're rare in the sense that a lot of people weren't buying those sets. Not near as many people as buying the 5s through 50s.
Right.
Because a lot of home gyms they're like, I need dumbbells up to 100 pounds. So they're harder in that way, and then they're also harder in the way that you just can't ship them. You can ship them, but it's not as
price
inexpensive.
Right.
Right. So it'll probably, although thanks to some of the other crew, Dan with the arm tattoos, he's got some, so there's a lead there out in Indiana. He's got some of the bigs, and then a few other leads there. So we'll see how I'll keep everyone abreast on my roundhead updates, but really good progress in this first week. I'm kind of knocking out all the easy ones.
I think you made more progress in like a week of this than most people do in many months of research.
That's true, but I also wasn't effing around. Like,
I
made it up in my mind that I have had so many over the past week, the correspondence that's gone on with all of this roundhead dumbbell searching and stuff. So much Facebook marketplacing all over the country. But I guess that's the fun of it for some people, maybe.
Yeah, it is impressive though how quickly like you could get to the bottom of this and get something
right.
going though.
Right. But I'm not sure if the hunt is the fun part for me, or if just actually having them would be the fun.
Because for a lot of people,
it's probably
the hunt is the activity is the looking and the research and the planning and the logistics, and like pulling the trigger almost ends the fun, when you actually get them.
I'm not sure for me if that's true or not. Maybe I'm in denial over the fact that is what I enjoy. But I feel like, no, I just want them, and I'll be kind of almost, if I had them all, I'd be relieved.
Where in the gym will these go?
That's to be determined. That's, I'm not sure. Obviously there's space, and like dumbbells can just go along a wall somewhere. I don't know if they'll be in a spot that's all that utilitarian, in the sense that they might not be right next to all the dumbbells.
The most convenient spot that you might have
right. But it's not a necessity for the gym to have another set of dumbbells right next to the existing set of dumbbells. So
right.
They might just be there in the sense that I have to put them somewhere, and I want somewhere where I can look at them, and this is a place where some other people will get some enjoyment out of. People will walk in and be like, oh, this is kind of a cool old set of dumbbells, or,
I am excited for the first time I go in the gym and see those there, because I already told you this. when I go to the gym now, being 3-4 months.
Describe your reaction. On that.
Now being 3 or 4 months removed from the gym, when I go in, because I'm already used to a commercial gym setting where there's minimal to nothing on the walls besides a mirror, a couple of motivational things spread throughout, but it's clean, but there's just nothing there. And then you go to the Massenomics gym and there's just so much to take in. Like, if you had never been there before, you could easily spend hours just processing everything on the walls and being like, oh, that's that guy. That's that guy. Oh, that poster's from there. That's from there. This person signed that. That's so-and-so. Like, that's this company. Here's all these other logos. Like, there's so much just on the walls to take in. And then once you're done with the walls, a lot of gyms, the barbells are almost inconsequential. Like, it's just like, oh, there's barbells here. Just if you're lucky, pick one that has more. If you're lucky, get the one with center knurling, and then maybe it has more aggressive knurling if you're really lucky. And here's 50 barbells, and they're all different. Like, pick your poison, there's just, and the amount of, now the other thing that shocks me is the amount of color coordination starting to go on. There's a lot of black and red compared to a year and a half ago.
Right. Especially talking about like our gym tour videos, like how much different that looks too.
Yes. It's drastically different. And I mean, the quality of the gear across the board is really, really good, but just the plates on the far side of the gym, they're like all strength co. So they're just black. The racks are all red. Now most of the bench, actually, I think every bench in the gym is basically red now. Red. Yeah. And it's starting to color coordinate pretty damn well. Like the reverse hyper is all black. Like everything is either black or red if it's been purchased in the last couple of years, and it's really starting to pop, you could say.
It is funny from the perspective of someone that being gone, because
you take it for granted so much when you're and not that it's special, like this is really nice, but you have to really leave and then come back and be like, damn, okay.
Like, this actually looks odd.
It's not normal for a gym to have like 30 different kinds of power bars. Like, that's not the norm, know?
It's also not necessary.
But it's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun.
Yeah. And the pro style of dumbbells, you forget how nice just those are versus just your urethane. Not that it really matters a whole lot, but it just looks cooler seeing the pro style versus the urethane ones.
I think that's part of it, though. Like, you talk about the stuff on the walls or the other stuff, you could just walk around for an hour and even just picking out small attachments and things of equipment and be like, look at that thing.
Just now that you've done some more research, finding out that stuffed underneath the dumbbell rack, if you look down there, there's some blobs that turn out to be worth something down there too.
Yeah, like considerably valuable.
Because do you know what the heads are on those blobs that you have? I couldn't remember if you
They're
said that.
big. That's what I've also realized. Those are big blob heads. Those are like half hundreds, that's why they're so damn hard. That's why I've never seen anyone pick up that biggest one, because I'm pretty sure it's a 100. I gotta weigh it still, but I just can tell by scale and comparison.
So you think that's close to 50 pounds, that one?
Yeah, I bet it's like 48 pounds or something like that, and it's massive. But if you look at the smaller ones have some. Our smaller ones are not small ones. That's the thing. Like, our smaller ones are probably like half 70s or half, they're big blobs still. We have no small blobs. Mm-hmm. Like, our first one is not an intro level.
Like, blob. Even that is for the right person, a very high point of interest.
Yeah,
and it's just stuffed underneath the dumbbells.
Just like dusty
you could actually go to the gym for 6 months and never see those down there.
What the hell's that?
Yeah, it's just another thing that's tucked away.
And then I did get a new. Speaking of gym grip stuff, Big Caden and I think maybe Big Mason too, they're finally closing the 2.5 Captains of Crush gripper. And I confirmed.
What do those go up to?
They go up to 4, but like 5 people in the world close the 4.
Yep.
But since they got the 2.5, I did now get the 3. So nobody at the gym yet has closed the 3 Captains of Crush. But if you close the 3, you've got a strong ass grip.
God,
like, it's impressive to close the 3.
What's the biggest one you've done?
I've done the 2. I cannot do the 2.5.
Oh, I'm terrible at all of them.
I mean, I keep telling those guys it's because the spring's all broken and worn in now that they can get the 2.5.
They've loosened it up.
Yeah, it's all loose. Yeah, it's easy now.
Well,
doesn't explain why I still can't do it.
It's like, all right, someone does something better than you. Do whatever you can to discredit their achievements. That's rule number one.
Yeah, it's a weak ass spring now. You keep closing it. Yeah. If I close it 30 times, I can keep closing it too.
Broken in, yeah.
Got it all loosened up. It's easy. It's more like it's really more like a 2 at this point than a 2.5.
Yeah. I follow that logic totally.
Yeah.
So you got so you got the 3 you said?
Yeah, we got the 3 Captains of Crush.
What's that cost?
Like 25, 30 bucks.
So those are pretty cheap.
What else I got? I got a new Bells of Steel deadlift jack. There's a lot of deadlift jack talk going on in the Discord channel, and maybe I'll even do a quick YouTube video on this. But I bought a new. Is that a single or does it get the? It's
the
a
whole
double.
thing
So I got another double. So we're getting rid of the old the original homemade double.
Going. Yeah, that's
and
good
now I've got like the other double that's there. This one kind of matches that, except that one is a Titan. This one's a Bells of Steel one. I haven't brought the Bells of Steel into the gym yet, but just even based on the plastic inserts for protecting the bar and stuff, I already think the Bells of Steel one is better. It only costs like $100, so
yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't actually used it yet, but maybe I'll do a real quick video on that in comparison of like the Titan to that one. But the double deadlift jack, there's talk about the Discord is why I think of it is so handy.
Oh
like
my
it
God.
does take up a lot of space, but maybe it doesn't. But
that is one of the things I miss so much.
Yeah,
about is having a deadlift jack of any kind, let alone a double deadlift jack, is so freaking nice. Oh God, I miss having those. Those are because it's just annoying when you're trying to deadlift, and I don't even deadlift heavy, but if you start getting to 4. Even at 3 plates, it's so annoying to be pushing and squeezing plates in and like lifting one end off at a time or wedging a plate under, and just you get the whole thing up and you can go. It's like it's not even a thing you think about anymore.
Yeah.
Double deadlift jack is the way to go.
Yeah, it'd be weird to go without that. You know, that's another one of those things where I'm like, that is definitely taken for granted. Or it's like, no, when you deadlift here, you have a double deadlift jack.
It's
like, that's
really annoying once you start loading. Like if I was a guy that routinely went to 5 plates and I didn't have a legit deadlift jack, oh man, it's a pain.
Yeah. What would you describe those? I don't know what PC way of describing those kind of problems are, but you know, like first world problems.
Yeah. I mean, it is though. It's like, I'm trying to just lift the weight, not like shimmy this thing around and like.
I just want to lift the weight for my prescribed sets and reps, not like all this extra stuff before and after.
The way I'm supposed to. I don't need all this extra
exercise. This isn't Strongman here. I'm trying to do powerlifting.
I 100% agree.
Okay. So we'll see what those. Well, there'll be a YouTube video of that actually when someday when all the roundheads are here, we'll do a video on that too.
Yes, I would love to see that one. This weekend, I have a fun little day ahead of me for tomorrow because I get to see the legend perform live.
Oh, yeah. And you're not talking about Bon Jovi.
No, not Bon Jovi. Do they go by? Are they the legend?
I don't know.
Does John Bon Jovi refer to himself as the legend?
No, I was just trying to. I was just actually Bruce Springsteen would have been a better, maybe better.
I would have maybe believed you for a second.
Yeah, Bruce. And you're not talking about Bruce. Can we cut this? And you're not talking about Bruce Springsteen.
No, I am not, Tanner. I'm talking about Larry Legend, that is, and he's making his way down to eastern southeast South Dakota, or I should say southeast South Dakota, to do a little powerlifting meet, state powerlifting meet. Larry has probably done that thing for 10 years
before we started
consecutive.
lifting.
Oh my God, he's done that thing so many years in a row.
We did it like in 2014 or 2015 for the first time, right?
2015. Yeah, it would have been right around there.
And he had been doing it for several years before we started.
Yeah, he'd already been doing it for several years. I did it for 4 straight years, and that was actually the last meet I did, which would have been 2018 or 19.
18, I bet.
18 probably, yeah. And so it's at Jonah Leo's gym. I'm going to go check it out tomorrow.
Big Jonah, as heard on the Massenomics podcast a few times.
So I'm excited to see what's going on there.
You have to get a little video, post a couple of like Instagram stories or something of that.
Yeah, I'll get some.
Get some. I think Jonah's got a couple Massenomics flags up.
Yes, I'll make sure to get the paparazzi going down there.
Yeah. So if he allows flash photography.
I also think crew member. I think I saw. Did I see big crew member Big Bryce is also competing? I believe.
Oh, is he doing it too?
I thought I saw his name on the list.
Big Jory from Massenomics Gym is in on it also.
Is Jory?
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Jor.
skimmed it really quick today. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Quick.
Yeah. What is it? Liberty Barbell.
Yep.
Is that a Sioux Falls address or?
I believe it's T, just off the T exit. Let's see, right? Well, where the hell did it go?
This is just Laird Legends warm-up meet for the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. Also, not going to release any information here, but we're working on a lot of stuff for the Lift Hard Live Easy
Would you
Classic.
say big things coming?
I think they could be. As you know, there's a lot of stuff in flux right now, but there could potentially be some changes, all of them good. It'll be unanimously well received if these changes that, if not, no one will be any the wiser and everyone will enjoy themselves just as much as they thought they were going to. But if a couple of these changes happen, it'll just kick it up one more notch.
Oh, yeah. Yep. But stay tuned on that. Yeah, I'm looking at Bryce Woolman, right? Big Bryce.
Yeah, Big Bryce.
Yep.
Is he signed up? Oh, okay.
He is. And also,
Jory did tell me that. Yeah.
and also
that's right.
Big Nate Moe is signed up as well.
Oh,
so
I didn't know Big Nate's doing it too.
Several
That's another
crew members all in Flight B together.
Oh, I wish I was there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So
that meet is run in sessions.
Yeah, I think it said the second session starts at 1 p.m.
And it's funny, there was discussion on that as it relates to the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. A few people asking, oh, you should do it in sessions. And I have never been to a meet that does it in
I haven't
sessions
either.
like that.
I have not. I've never done a meet that does it that way. So that was news to me. But I mean, I can see how if you do it that way, yeah, you get done with your day in like 4 hours. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, and especially if it's a bigger, like there's a lot of, if there's 150 people competing that day or
but this
like
is like 4 flights of like 15-ish though. So it's about 60.
A 60 person meet.
Yeah.
So it's 2 sessions of 32 flights each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not the way I'm used to it, I guess.
I'm not either. So I don't get it. Do they do awards for those people?
I don't know.
Do those people have to stick around all day anyways?
Right. They have to do the awards first, right? Before the next people?
I don't know. Well, how do you do best lifter and that stuff, though? You can't.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I'm actually looking through the list.
I never thought a well-run meet of 4 flights with 60 lifters is not that long, though.
No, it goes fairly fast. And Jonah,
I mean, actually, I don't know. My measuring stick's off, though, because I've been to some meets before. So have you that were so long that, like, once you just get to appropriately run ones, you're like, oh, this is actually pretty fast.
Yeah,
and in actuality, you're still there for, like, 7 hours, but you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Right. I'm just looking. There's a lot of people, well, because South Dakota is small, but there's a lot of people in the list here that we know and are familiar with. So it should be pretty fun.
A lot of Minnesota guys that we know in there, the usual suspects, I suppose.
Yeah,
Jackal's Gym.
Here, I put the lineup in the chat. You can click the link there and see it.
What is this, technology or something?
I know, what the hell's going on here?
So will I be able to watch this live?
I don't know. Does Lifting Cast, does that actually, well, I guess it depends on if they're live streaming it or if they just post results as it goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's some familiar faces in there, isn't there?
Yes, there are.
There's some familiar faces in there. Oh, session 2, that's the big dogs then, right?
Yes, it is. They aren't fooling around.
Yeah, there's a lot of friendly faces.
Am I like crazy or am I not seeing Jory here? Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, I see him.
Jor.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's there. Okay. Well, I'll be excited to. I wish I could be there, but big basketball tournament tomorrow. So can't make it. I'm going the other direction. I'm going to Valley City.
Oh boy,
what would you call that? That's
almost
central, south central?
Well, that's almost straight north Aberdeen, isn't it?
I think it is. It might even be back to the east a little bit.
Oh, is it? I'm pulling up the map right now. I
think it's back. I think it's east, north, and then east a little bit. I should know because I got to go there.
Oh, yeah. It's almost straight north of Groton. So just a touch east. So, yeah, you could make the argument that that's a western. Oh, boy. Actually, I would almost say, wow, that is really just.
Is it like. Is it western southeastern or
it's
not?
a real in-betweener. It's probably.
Or is it, would you lead with central or?
No, I'd probably say western south. I'd probably say
western southeast North Dakota.
I think so. Because you get
western southeast North Dakota. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's not quite to that central part of the state yet. So yeah, it's definitely in the southeast, but it's almost too far north to be south.
Right.
But it's not to the halfway point yet, so I think it can still be south.
But is Aberdeen almost too south to be north?
No.
In converse.
No.
Aberdeen is much more north than Valley City is south.
Yes, Aberdeen's much closer to the border than Valley City is.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to go with a big trench coat on, and it's going to be full of Massenomics apparel that I'm going to be selling out of it.
Just slinging. Yeah. Lift shorts, $35.
Look, this guy's in this trench coat over here is really weird. I don't know what he's doing.
And they're like, yeah, and it's Tommy. Yeah. We all know him.
No, he's
not going to be this guy. Everyone's like, yeah, it's Tommy. But you could wear a false mustache.
That's what'll throw him off. That's what
the glasses with the mustache.
Yeah, with the funny nose on it too, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
And no one will ever recognize you with that.
Nope. They won't even know who I am.
And, earlier when we were talking about how cool Massenomics Gym is and the aesthetics of it and why that really pops and makes it look so good, that really reminded me of specifically when you talked about the plates.
Yes, of course.
And I wanted to fill you in on a little something.
This is the Strength Company. We've set out to build a better barbell plate on American soil. We ended up here at Wisconsin's legendary Wapaka Foundry. With over 60 years of ironworking experience, the foundry had the knowledge, technology, and processes to build our weights to our exact specifications. The Strength Company plates are slim but rugged, smooth but easy to grip, and electro-coated for durability and to look great in your gym. This is the next generation of American iron. Only available from the Strength Company.
Yeah. For people that were watching the video, that's almost a double ad because while you're hearing about the Strength Co, you get to see a Drink Spotter. It's called piggybacking.
Yep. It's an adception. Just when you think you couldn't have any more ads, we have more ads.
We pack an ad inside our ad.
Yeah. What do you have left to talk about? Is it Barefoot Shoes?
I have a little something here for you from the fine folks from Bearfoot Shoes. Now, if I were to paraphrase what I think founder Chris Duffin would say, I think he would say something along the lines that most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement, but Barefoot Shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so you can move your feet the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by me, Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to my success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, the most important part, listen up, use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order. One more time, that's barefoot.shoes. Use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order.
They're not for your hands. They're for your feet.
Barefoot Shoes.
Please go to our website this week, Thursday, 4 p.m. Western Northeast South Dakota time, which is also less commonly known as Central Time. Our big drop is going to hit for the Drink Spotter Lite, the new sticker pack, and the 7 years strong Massenomics Podcast tee.
This
in
is your
Blaze
chance
Red
to be part of the revolution.
Yeah, the podcast tee is limited. The Drink Spotter quantities will be limited in this first sale offer here. So do not sleep on this. Very affordable, very strong, very durable.
Very sexy, baby. Yeah.
Grr, baby. Very safe. Very safe, too. Honestly, like this took safety to a whole nother level. It's so much more versatile.
Yeah.
Now you can be safe anywhere, everywhere.
We could probably get some
excuses
government
left.
contract through OSHA for safety with this thing.
That's what we need. Then we could charge like 4 times as much with everything going on.
Well, it's American made, you know.
Yeah,
In this economy?
Aluminum.
Yeah.
This is what is that? What's the word? What grade aluminum is this that
Is
I'm
it 5250? Is that what the note was?
We shouldn't really know that to advertise it better.
It was a series of numbers that involved fives.
5052. I'm pretty sure it's 5052
there
aluminum.
It is, yeah. 5052.
And what grade is that considered? Is that like
the best grade?
The best ever.
Aircraft grade, I believe.
Aircraft grade 5052 aluminum. This is so good. I know it by heart. This is aircraft grade 5052 aluminum
with a rare earth 40-pound magnet that is rubber coated.
Yep.
Did we mention it's laser cut and made in America?
That's all. And then this podcast tee, we have not had that many podcast tees before. So this is your chance to get a piece of Massenomics podcast history. And we know you like that sort of thing because here you are listening to the Massenomics podcast. You'd be a horse's ass not to go buy one. I'll tell you that much.
You would be an absolute horse's ass, a real shitty horse's ass at that.
You couldn't even ride one horse with that kind of horse's ass that you have, let alone two with your asses and horses and stuff.
Ain't no way that's going to happen.
Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.